A story of resiliency. I'm Zeke Fravor with how a local hockey player is dropping the gloves and fighting to get back on the ice.
From underdog to frontrunner, I'm Crystal Clark with how UT's curling club is making waves nationwide.
Since Roe fell, we've had the near total abortion ban, which means that that Ohio limits all abortions.
I'm Sydney Shawwecker, bringing you an inside look at post-Roe interaction in Toledo.
UT10 News starts now. Welcome back to UT10 News. I'm Crystal Clark. Since the June 24th overturn of Roe v. Wade, people across the country have made their stance on the controversial issue public.
And I'm Sydney Shawwecker. Here's how one Columbus-based group gets the conversation going.
It was an intimidating environment with a small group of demonstrators and body cams.
Some protesters are here protesting us.
Created Equal's media specialist was the only person I was permitted to speak to. I asked for resources and was directed to their website, createdequal.org. The group is known for their aggressive pro-life stance, utilizing graphic images of the procedure in large print.
I said, okay, do you ever think it's okay to intentionally kill innocent human beings?
Across town, Agnes Reynolds Jackson Fund board member Kristen Heedy invited me to her home to discuss the state of access in Toledo.
Anyone really in the abortion world has kind of been screaming from the rooftops for years that this was coming.
The organization has some unique ways to spur the conversation.
We basically went to the attic. They are always down for whatever we want. And they made an amazing buffet of tacos. And then we basically hung out, we listened to music, we talked a little bit about kind of the state of abortion access in Toledo.
The Agnes Reynolds Jackson Fund, or Aggie Fund, has grown rapidly over its 30 years serving the Toledo area.
Patients have to travel so much now. We have really rapidly branched into practical support as well. So we are helping patients pay for their gas, childcare, we book lodging. And that's the basis of mutual aid, is people asking for help and it being given with no strings attached.
We have links to both the Aggie Fund and createdequal.org on our website, ut10news.com. A judge's order to temporarily block a statewide abortion ban has been extended for an additional 14 days through October 12th. The judge argues that the abortion ban violates protections in the Ohio Constitution guaranteeing individual liberty and equal protection. The action also says the law is unconstitutionally vague. The next hearing on the law is scheduled for next week.
Do you own any banned books? According to the American Library Association, over 1,600 books are being challenged for their content including profanity, violence and sexuality, just to name a few. On September 22nd, UToledo hosted its 25th annual Banned Books Vigil with 13 guest speakers featured throughout the event. The organizers of the seminar said smaller scale events like this help to raise awareness of censorship on a national level. Out of the roughly 1,597 books challenged in 2021, 5 of the top 10 are being targeted for their LGBTQIA+ content. To see that list again and to learn more about banned books, visit our website, ut10news.com. Now let's turn things over to Sydney, the news making headlines across America.
Netflix's new #1 show, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, debuts to conflicting reviews and ethical questioning. Streamers were understandably upset when Netflix tagged the show as, quote, LGBT. Dahmer's 17 victims consisted mainly of gay men of color. Additionally, those directly impacted by Dahmer have complained that they were not informed about the show's production, despite the inclusion of scenes like the reenactment of a victim's sister's breakdown on the stand in 1992. There is also debate on the ethics of major studios casting traditionally attractive actors such as Zac Efron and Evan Peters in serial killer roles, romanticizing them to the public. A Detroit woman in 2021 Miss Michigan Taylor Hale made TV history Sunday night when she became the first black woman to win Big Brother in the show's 22-year history. In addition to winning the $750,000 prize, she was the first house guest to ever win the grand prize and America's Favorite House Guest in the same season. Russia conducted mass polls in Ukraine asking citizens their opinion on living under Russian rule. According to the Associated Press, Russia claims the citizens are for the annexation of the regions from Ukraine. However, there is evidence largely pointing to numbers manipulation by the Russian government. Russia documented nearly as many at the polls as were registered voters in Ukraine in 2012, despite half between half and 2/3 of citizens fleeing the country since the war began. Moscow is expected to move quickly to annex the regions. It's predicted that the results of the vote will not affect a Ukrainian counteroffensive in the east as Kiev's forces are advancing towards the occupied cities of Luhansk. Hurricane Ian has quickly become one of the most powerful storms recorded in the United States history. Nearly 2 million people lost power Wednesday as the storm raged. Many are still trapped in flooded homes. A hospital in Port Charlotte's ICU roof was ripped off in the storm as their emergency room flooded. The Category 4 storm hit the coast south of Tampa with 150-mile-per-hour winds. The storm previously claimed 2 lives in Cuba before hitting the States. Ian has been downgraded to a tropical storm as it continues to move through Florida. Bruce Willis can be proud of NASA as they make their first successful mission to redirect an object in space. The spacecraft DART intentionally crashed into an asteroid about 7 million miles away at 14,000 miles per hour. This was the first successful planetary defense test conducted by NASA. Mission Control's Elena Adams says Earthlings should sleep better and that she definitely will.
What? Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
The 525-foot asteroid named Dimorphos has been orbiting the sun with its partner Didymos for eons. NASA thinks this makes it the perfect object to practice saving the world.
Now we're going to introduce you to some players on the ice, but this isn't the sport you're thinking of.
They may be new to the scene, but they're already sweeping the competition. Founded in the fall of 2021, the club has already made waves on the national scene. In their debut Bonspiel competition in March, they upset the nationally ranked Penn State Nittany Lions, winning both competitions 5-7 and 8-5.
Our game was extremely close, like we were trading points back to back. I just looked at the scoreboard the other day, we had a picture. It was cool to see that we could put up a fight against an actual established curling club.
This set the tone for the year. The club is currently ranked #1 in the USA Collegiate Curling Standings, a place they have held since April. Club Vice President Adam Billmeyer says this has opened new opportunities for their members.
It's been really surprising. Like, I've had a couple schools reach out to us because they see we're on the top of the leaderboard. You know, we're #1 in the nation right now, and they see that and they're like, oh, we want you guys to come play us and like get out there.
They hope to qualify for the national championship this March, but with costs for travel and equipment, the club's executive team have some big obstacles in their way.
I'd like to say we're in like the curling desert because we're the only school in Ohio. The next closest school is Notre Dame and then Penn State, and everyone outside of that's like 8 hours away or more.
All of the club's executive team will be graduating in the next year. However, they have developed a plan and vision of longevity for UT's curling club. They hope that they can encourage more people to pick up a broom and give it a try.
We think that if we foster that community of people who really care about this sport and making a name for Toledo, we won't have much of an issue getting out to those events.
So what is curling? Well, teams take turns sliding a stone on the ice, aiming for targets known as houses. They brush the ice in the direction in front of the stone to help direct it. Only one team can score each of the 8 rounds, or ends, and that's determined by which stone is closest to the center. From there, any stone that is closer to the center of the house than your opponent is worth a point.
It's now time to turn things over to UT 10's Zeke Fravor with sports.
Zeke, we've got a lot of new sports content for the fall and for today.
That's right, we're debuting a new segment. UT 10's Jamon McKinney brings us our Athlete of the Week just after the break.
Broadcasting live from 88.3 WXUT Studio, I'm Crystal Clark. Let's begin.
Love the UT10 student newscast? You'll love the student-run WXUT Weekly News Update. The WXUT Weekly News Update gives you the lowdown on campus, city, state, and nationwide happenings.
It's now been almost 2 months into Russia's war on Ukraine.
All researched and reported by the students of UT10 News. Catch the show at 7:45 a.m. Saturdays
on 88.3 FM WXUT.
I'm Zeke Fravor, and this is your UT10 Sports Reports. Very few hockey players from the Toledo area get a chance to play professional hockey. One such player is Perrysburg's Tanner Dickinson, and he's fighting every day to get back on the ice. When Tanner Dickinson returned to play in the OHL last season, he was a top 6 forward for the Sioux Greyhounds, scoring 18 goals and chipping in with 29 assists, good for 47 points in 35 games. Then, on January 29th, 2022, in a game against the Barrie Colts, his season came to a screeching halt.
And then I just got shoved from behind at like an awkward distance between the boards. After I made impact, I knew something was wrong with my leg.
After an emergency surgery in Sault Ste. Marie for a broken femur, Dickinson returned home to Northwest Ohio. When he was cleared to skate, he skated here at the Team Toledo Ice House, where he started his career and also won a few championships. He was cleared to skate over the summer and was well on his way to playing this season. Then, just a few weeks ago, he suffered a setback and needed another surgery.
Yeah, obviously that was really tough news, and that was an emotional moment for me.
Now, he faces another uphill battle with the hope of playing soon. Dickinson knows the road he faces and knows just how sweet it will be when he returns to the ice to play again.
Yeah, that'd be a great feeling, and my excitement would take over, so, I'm just looking forward to getting that chance again and getting back to playing.
While Dickinson told me there's no set timeline for his return, he hopes to be skating again sometime over the next few months. With golf season now in full swing, it's time to turn things over to UT10's Jamon McKinney for our new segment, the Athlete of the Week. Jamon?
Thank you, Zeke. We're all passionate about something, right? Well, today we get a chance to see the progression and the story of a big brother and a little brother together living out their dreams and why the dreams could expand for the future. George, South Africa native Baron Botha has found quite the home both on and off the golf course here at the University of Toledo. He and big brother Inya grew up as golfers.
We're really competitive as brothers.
So it's no surprise Baron followed Inya to Toledo.
We always drive each other to just be better every day.
When I was in school, my coach, he told everyone on the golf team, he was like, you guys need to go to America. My brother came here first, so he told me all about it and what it's like.
Baron says it's not just the skill, but the mental approach to the game that makes the difference.
Especially when I'm playing badly or even playing well, I just try and think about the positives and keeping the motivation there.
He's a 1%, 2% guy. And I say 1%, 2% because there are only in college golf and amateur golf in general, 1 or 2% of the people that can do what he does. If he was a baseball player, you'd call him a 5-tool guy.
While there is still work to be done, playing professional golf is certainly a goal for both Baron and Inya.
The biggest step would be improving mentally, just getting more focused and positive and not letting bad shots carry over.
It's definitely been a goal for a long time.
While both Baron and Inya are a year apart from one another, they both are saying they encourage each other almost every single day. While they're not sure exactly what the future holds, the game of golf is definitely in it. Live in the newsroom, I'm Jamon McKinney, UT10 Sports.
Thanks, Jamon. It's homecoming weekend, and on Saturday, the annual parade begins at 10 a.m. Then head to the Glass Bowl at 3:30, where the Rockets football team takes on the Central Michigan Chippewas for the beginning of MAC play. That's all the time we have for sports.
Remember, you can catch our newscast replays on YouTube, and don't forget to follow us on social media.
And listen to 88.3 WXUT on Saturday mornings at 7:45. We'll see you next week.